TP4 50 ticks just got hit. TP4 50 ticks just got hit. Damn, that was fast as shit. All right, so looking at today's price action, if we go to the 1 hour chart, we can see that we're clearly in a bullish market, creating higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, and price is currently pushing down and matching this previous higher low. So we are in a bullish market. We are above all of our moving averages. We're also above our VWAP. Now, when I go down to the 5 minute, what I would like to see, we have two areas of M5 resistance where price can break through to look for potential entry. I'm leaning more towards up here in the 62.7s. That's where I'm looking at. All-time highs is up here in the 73s. So we can get a push up here. You can see here we're slowly trying to break to the upside because technically it's a lower high. This is a lower high. This is a lower high. It created a higher low. And then if we get a break above, this could be like a small minor area of a break of structure. The main break of structure will be up here. Maybe we might get a retest and we get continuation as we head towards these previous areas of lower highs where we have liquidity. If we look at the book map, we have orders above in the 62s. We got orders in the 66s. I'm looking at 30 plus outliers here for anyone that's looking at book map on their end. We got a fat order in the 70s at 78. And then we got the big boy at all-time highs, 158. So these are areas where price can be attracted to, where liquidity is, where we have passive sellers who are going to try to hold price down. But again, it could be used as liquidity for price to push up. Getting that bullish push. All right, I'm in. Let's see. 62 stop loss. That was a really strong bullish push. I would have preferred some sort of, structure on the way up, but I'll take the push up, 50 tick stop loss. And with this, guys, it's one and done. Whenever I do a 50 tick stop loss, I keep it one and done. It's when I had 25, 30. I was willing to give myself a second chance, but a huge part of this is that you can't dig yourself into a further hole. If it goes against you 50 ticks, it is what it is. Even if it keeps on pushing, goes in your directions, take the loss, call it a day, move on to the next one. 20 ticks just got hit. TP1, 20 ticks just got hit. TP2, 30 ticks just got hit. TP2, 30 ticks just got hit. TP3, 40 ticks just got hit. TP3, 40 ticks just got hit. TP4, 50 ticks just got hit. TP4, 50 ticks just got hit. Damn, that was fast as shit. If you made some motherfucking money, can you drop some emojis in the chat? Great day in the chat. That was literally like 10, not even 10 minutes. That was like 5 minutes. Straight dubs. W's and emojis in the chat, baby. Great day in the market. Love to see it, love to see it, love to see it, love to see it, love to see it. Yeah, that was a fast one. So let's talk about this, right? So hit 50 ticks. 100 ticks is all the way up here. We have another M5 area of resistance right here, which is roughly how many ticks? It's about like 84 ticks away, so I'm going to keep an eye on that. But we have all this liquidity building up here. Let me look here. 83s. See, it's hard to not just want that quick 50 tick bot, boom, straight to your take profit, boom. Like, you're good, you're chilling, you're happy. Would you be fine with moving to break even, understanding that you could get stopped out? after price just bopped up a few ticks in your favor. And usually when I move the break even, I move like a few ticks under. But I might end up just taking it out at this area of resistance right here. We're getting a strong motherfucking push right now. Strong fucking push right now. Strong push. Beautiful strong push here. Yeah, I might just see what that looks like right there. So, I mean, let me break this down real quick while it's running. So, very, very simple. That was a very fast trade, very quick dub. Love to see it. Absolutely beautiful. Quick dub, in and out. But basically, all I'm doing, and you guys saw this on the back test that we did this last Wednesday, right? And we're going to continue to do, we did a whole month. So there's a lot of information that we were cooking with. A lot of information that we were cooking with this past Wednesday. So that's what I'm saying, guys. If I'm doing these calls, right? Everyone's pulling up in the morning. No one's pulling up at night. You guys are missing out on a lot. Look at this. Look at this fucking banger right here. Look at this banger right here. Absolutely fucking beautiful. Absolutely fucking beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. But go ahead and just take that dub right there. Damn, I should have touched it on the money. It didn't take me out just yet. So let's do a quick breakdown of what we're looking at. So one thing I'm kind of shifting my mind to when it comes to the book map is like, okay, the book map, we have all this heat upstairs, okay? And instead of treating it like a rejection, because I understand that this is areas of liquidity where price will be attracted to, instead of focusing on the fact that, oh, okay, hit this area and reject, let me not so much care about that, because if it's hotter upstairs and we're trending upwards, yeah, it's going to hit, it's going to reject, but that's, what is that when price rejects off an area? That's just price, what? Doing a pullback and then continuation. And as long as my stop loss is sufficient enough, then who really gives a fuck, right? So that's why I was willing to be like, all right, I'm getting tired of these 30, 25 tick, getting stopped down 2 seconds. I hate taking 2 trades a day. Again, I need to figure out what works best for my personality and stick with that. Right? Which is, I like giving my shit room. I like understanding that my entry doesn't have to be perfect, right? If my entry isn't perfect and I'm in some fucking drawdown, that's fine. At least I know I got some wiggle room to work with. So, first things first, we're looking at the 1 hour. And I will say that today was a pretty easy day to read. I'm not sure if I'm just saying that was easy because after spending hours back testing the past week, I just had a lot more clarity with even the spikier markets that happened the past 2 months. But I will say that this was fairly easy, right? So price is clearly an uptrend. We're pushing up, creating higher highs, higher lows, higher lows, all that fun stuff. We have an area of, and let me delete this because I already closed out on this bitch. Even myself, I told myself I was going to hold the 100. I couldn't do it. I was like, you know what? This shit popped up. 80 ticks in front of my face. I'm taking the money. All right. So we have area of support right here. Area of resistance. Okay. Area of support, area of resistance. Let me even delete these M5 areas of support and resistance and not confuse anybody. Okay. Where are the major pushes up, pushes down, and where do we see areas of support? Okay. We know areas of support are red to green, pushes up. Okay. Those higher lows, red, green, push up, red, green, push up. Okay, we have another red to green move that's currently developing here, but at the time, it wasn't there, right? And price hasn't closed yet. We still have 11 minutes before price close. I'm not drawing areas of support resistance based off of current candlesticks are fluctuating. I'm waiting for that bitch to close. Okay, resistance, green to red. Okay, so we have a nice green to red move right here. Now, I could have drawn a green to red move right here, okay, as an area of resistance because we have not had a candlestick closure above. So technically this area of resistance is still relevant. We've only wicked above, but I'm not drawing lines on my chart just to draw them. if I'm drawing an area of line, there has to be some sort of significance to it. I like this area of support because I want to see this hold. If it doesn't hold, if it breaks below, okay, more than likely is going to be a break of structure, and we could see a potential confirmation to the downside, or it could be a liquidity sweep for price to push back up. Okay, this line has a reason. This line, okay, this is an area of resistance. If price ends up holding this area of support and we start seeing some M5 uptrending structure to the upside, I can enter and look for that as a potential overall target at all-time highs. Okay, boom, that has a purpose. What am I going to use this one for? Absolutely nothing, right? So I'm not in the business of having random lines on my chart if I'm not going to use it for something, or there's not some sort of explanation as to why I have it there. Okay, so we're in an uptrend. I want to see this area hold. That is my overall bias for the day, based off what you guys saw that I sent in the chat. Okay, so now coming into when market opened. Okay, so let's just go back to 9:30. We'll go to like here. All right. So at this point, I'm like, okay, I believe we're in an uptrend. If I believe we're in an uptrend, I want to see uptrending structure in order for me to get in for a trade. Now we have to look at the structure on the 5-minute. Okay, lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high. Now you may be wondering, oh, what about all these little, ooh, what's going on? What's going on? Okay, we're back. Now you may be wondering, oh, Christian, what about all these little ups and downs? For all of you who have taken the mentorship, you guys hear me say it all the time, don't get lost in the sauce. Where are the major pushes up? Where are the major pushes down, right? Don't get lost in all the chop in between. So with that being said, right, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high. And then right now we're starting to create a higher low here as price is looking to change trends and push to the upside. Okay, so where are the major lower highs? Where are the major lower lows? Don't get lost in the chop. Don't get lost in the chop. Where are the major peaks and valleys? I like to call it, right? So with that being said, because originally I was like, okay, we have two smaller M5 areas of, resistance that we could use as potential entries. This would have been the more aggressive one. This is the more conservative one. Okay. I was like, you know what? This is the major lower high. If I'm ignoring the chop, I really want to see this higher low develop, showing that it wants to start pushing up. I'm going to wait. Right. And that's exactly what we did. Okay. That's exactly what we did. We waited. Now, as price is pushing up, oh, the beautiful trade. There. As price is pushing up, okay, let me, boom, pushes down, perfectly fine. It's just trying to trick you. It's trying to trick you, okay? Price is pushing down, trying to trick you. That's a sell, right? Oh, we're about to break below the VWAP, blah, 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 blah. No, right? That's why we have our major H1 areas of resistance support to keep us in check. Now we get a nice, beautiful, look at this, double bottom. Boom, nice little double bottom off of a downtrending structure that's looking to change into an uptrending structure. Okay, absolutely beautiful. Pushes up, we break this M5 area of resistance. So the most aggressive one, if we got in here, would have worked either way, but waited for the major one to get broken. Now usually I don't want to see 120 tick candlestick as it pushes up, right? I would have liked to have seen maybe some sort of red candlestick or some sort of structure hesitation as price is making its way, just so I feel better about my entry, right? Because price could have very well have pulled back 50 ticks, because that's less than 50% of the move, and then continue pushing up. But shout out to the trading gods. He was like, Christian, I'm not going to let you back test for 50 hours this past week and not at least give you a little bit of a dub. So I'm like, perfect. So price pushed up, boom, and this is where we're currently at. Just hit my TP right there, so we're cooking. Now, again, like I said, I would have liked to held to 100. This got me at 83, 84 ticks, but I think as I'm slowly just trying to get comfortable holding for, because I haven't held for 100 ticks plus since like 2022. Because back in that day, I was more so not swinging, but I'll just hold a trade for a couple of days. I was fine with that. So I just need to kind of get my mental back to it. It's easy to back test. It's easy to back test and be like, okay, this is the result. Perfect. So just do it. It's easy to just think that way. But when you're actually in the market, and today everything happened in a matter of like the first 20 fucking minutes. But imagine if we waited for 2 hours, an hour and a half, right? That could be mentally exhausting. And then if you waited 2 hours, got in, price pushed up, hit 50 ticks, hit 60 ticks, hit 70, hit 80, and then took you out of break even, you know, that could be a little bit annoying. But again, those are just the things I'm currently going to have to deal with as I get more comfortable with this. But,
Yo, Christian.
what's up?
My boy, I just have a quick question. You want me to save it till the end, or you're still going?
No, I'm pretty much good right now. So yeah, what you got?
I just had a question, just picking your brain, regarding your new strategy with the holding for 100 ticks. Is it a possibility? Are you trying to hold for 100 ticks from now on, like for every single trade, or is it a possibility where you can kind of like throughout the week, based on your P&L, decide to hold and break even? Like, let's say you have 2 green days in the week, you held for 50 ticks, and now it's Thursday, and you're like, okay, I'm going to hold for 100 at 50. I can break even and secure at least a break even trade. Would that be possible, or is that too many moving parts like throughout a week that can change like your mentality or your strategy?
Good question. So I'm never going to switch up my approach or try to adjust certain risk management principles with my plan based off P&L. Because, you know, if you're pocket watching your P&L, you're focusing more on the money rather than what makes sense based off what the chart is telling you. So for me, you know, the overall target, the goal is to hit that 100 ticks, right? And the best part is that when you back test the previous months, you can see for yourself how often that 100 ticks is getting hit. Because if I back tested for the last 2 months and I saw 100 ticks was never getting hit during any session, then I wouldn't have made it 100 ticks as the take profit, right? But I'm seeing that it's getting hit often, so I need to understand that and have the confidence from the back testing, bring that into my live trading to be willing to hold to that 100 ticks. Now, as I'm in the chart, as I'm taking the trades day by day, the hardest part about holding for more ticks is not getting caught up in, you know, this shit. As it's pushing up, pushing down, going towards break even, then pushing back up, going into drawdown, then pushing up to take, you know, those are the little things that you can't get caught up in and takes time and experience to get used to. There's no perfect answer for that. But I will say, even for today, like I took profit at like 82 ticks-ish. I know my overall target is 100 ticks, right? I back tested it for hours. I saw it work, and I still didn't hold it to 100 ticks. Why? Because kind of like how you mentioned, I was thinking about my P&L. I was like, fuck, I just want to get it dubbed, man. I just want to get it dubbed. That was a fat dub. It was super quick. I just want to get it, right? That's me thinking about the money rather than just, Christian, you back tested all this data, focus on being a better trader. But that's something, again, even myself, I need to get comfortable with as I'm making this switch. So certain risk management techniques as far as managing your profit while you're in the trade. Me personally, when I was back testing, I just focused on 50 tick stop loss, 100 tick take profit. When I'm up 50 ticks, move to break even, live with the result, break even or dub. If I get in and it doesn't hit 50 ticks, takes me out of L, perfectly fine. When and done, does not matter if price goes back to my entry and starts pushing in my direction. The thing about this that won't work is that if you keep on trading and dig yourself into a hole because you're worried about making your money back, you're fucked, right?
Also, so at 50 ticks, you're going to move to break even?
Yeah, I'll move to break even or maybe a little bit below break even, because since we're entering at areas of major resistance, these are areas that can definitely get retested. In this example, price pushed up and retested probably on like the M1, M2 right away and pushed up. But there'll be times it'll just push straight through, hit 50 ticks, and then it'll pull all the way back, retest that area of resistance by a fucking tick before pushing up, right? So I might move my, so for example, entries at 62.7. I might put my break even, quote unquote, at like 62.5, 62.4, nothing too crazy.
That makes a lot of sense, yeah. Because my question really was like, to have a 50 tick stop loss and then have a 100 tick take profit, you could be 80 ticks in profit and you still have like 130 ticks to possibly go back down and hit your stop loss. So you you moving to break even makes a lot more sense. Yeah.
Yeah, 1000% moving to break even. If price moved up 80 ticks in my direction and I let it go against me 130 ticks and stop me out at negative 50, that's just stupid. That's just terrible, terrible risk management. So, yeah. Now, again, like I said, this is just me telling you guys what I'm doing. Doesn't necessarily mean you have to follow what I'm doing. You should never take anything I say just at face value, right? You must take what I say and then back test it for yourself and see if it works for you. Because you may back test and realize, like, you know what, me personally, I like the 50 for 50. Or me personally, I like the 25 for 50. I like the 30 for 50. My psyche, my mindset resonates the best with that approach. What works for me isn't necessarily going to work for you, right? Now, the easiest thing to adopt is a 1-to-1 50 for 50, right? So that's why a lot of people like that, you know, just in the trading space. That's just an easier approach to adopt. But as you're working to make these switches with experience, the more you trade, you need to understand what works best for you, right? Because I could have easily been like, okay, 30 tick stop loss, and this could have been a 1-to-3 or 1 to, you know what I'm saying? So there's so many ways to look at it. You just need to see what works best for you. What we got going on in the chat here? Let me see. My girl just got her bar exam result. She passed. Hell yeah. Congratulations, brother. That's what's up. Nothing but success in the child household. Love to see it. Savage, thank you for the transparency, honesty, and accountability. Always, always. I'm always going to be 100% honest. Always going to be 100% straight up with you guys. Always going to tell you guys what I got going on. Not to confuse you, but to hope that the more you hear me talking about what I'm doing, you'll try it out for yourself.